Sudanese army has announced the discovery of mass graves near Omdurman, the twin city of the capital Khartoum. In a statement on social media, it said over 460 bodies were found in the Al-Salha district south of the city during an operation to clear the area. The victims were among nearly 650 civilians who had been detained by the RSF and died as a result of neglect, including lack of food and medicine. The army also said it found civilians and retired members of the regular forces being held inside a school in the area and used as human shields. This announcement was made just 2 days after the army declared Khartoum State cleared of the presence of the RSF. For more on this, we joined live by our correspondent Momen Al-Maki. He's live for us in Port Sudan. Momen, what more details do we have on these discovered mass graves and the detained civilians held inside a school in the Salha area?
Yes, speaking about this massive grave which have been discovered today in Al-Salha, we know that RSF were capturing more than 600 civilians inside this school, which is called Al-Salha school in southern Omdurman areas. More than 460 from these civilians which were captured died due to neglection and due to the lack of health care which were provided by the rapid support forces. This is, of course, isn't new for RSF. According to activists, RSF has have had more than 40 detention centers inside Khartoum State. These detention centers were containing more than 10,000 inside the detention centers. Most of these prisoners were killed due to the lack of healthcare assistance provided by RSF and died also under torture. There are many massive graves which had been discovered after the army took control over Khartoum. One of them was on Bahri, containing 550 civilians which were imprisoned by RSF and torture. So the situation across Khartoum is really catastrophic regarding the mass graves and also regarding the torture and detention centers.
Yeah, Moment, 460 bodies, that's huge. And talking about 650 civilians being held. How is the public reacting to this news? And also, Moment, what can you tell us about this Al-Salha area?
Yes, the Sudanese people are in anger because hundreds of thousands of Sudanese people have been affected by RSF. Thousands of houses have been looted. People have been captured, tortured by RSF, and some were killed. So the Sudanese people, according to the post that we have seen on social media, and also the Sudanese people on the ground are in anger. They have condemned these massive graves and these detention centers. People also have been affected by RSF. Maybe the majority of violations during this war, more than 90%, have been conducted by RSF. So the people are really in anger. Speaking about the Salha area, this is a very strategic and important area in Khartoum capital. This contains one of the biggest RSF camps, which the Sudanese army was able to control it in the past 2 days and chase the RSF away from Al-Salha in southern Omdurman and from also western Omdurman parts. This was the last area for RSF in Khartoum, and the Sudanese army was successfully able to chase them from their biggest camp, which is the Salha camp, towards the western states of Sudan, in particular towards North Kordofan state.
Momen, we appreciate that. Thank you very much for joining us. Momen Al-Maki, live for us there in Port Sudan. Now, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa says his visit to the White House was a great success. This, despite an ambush by U.S. President Donald Trump over allegations of genocide against white farmers, which gained the most attention. CGTN's Joy Kirukijuma has the details.
Other friends in South Africa, I have people that left, What was meant to be a cordial meeting to mend frosty relations between South Africa and the US degenerated into a confrontation after Trump ambushed Ramaphosa with claims of the killing of white farmers in South Africa. But Ramaphosa downplayed the criticism when speaking to the press.
The issue that he kept raising, or he raised prominently, is the issue of genocide. And when he was asked by one of you, and thank God one of you asked, whether he was convinced that there was genocide, he says, no, he's not convinced. Much as he flighted the video and all those press clippings. And in the end, I mean, I do believe that there's doubt and disbelief in his head about all this. You wanted to see drama and something really big happening. And